Hello everyone, welcome to this new channel. I'm just starting. I've always seen YouTube as something that I've used for entertainment, and I've also seen a lot of videos from Bob Ross, and I thought, heck, why not start my own channel and make it all about that? So I'm used to monologuing by myself, and I'll try to keep it interesting. The purpose of this channel is mainly to just do things that I like, talk while I'm doing it, because usually I'm not a talker. I have my own issues, and talking is not one of my fortes when it's in front of people, just drains me a lot. But if I don't hear anyone in the background, it's like, oh yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about something. Okay, anyhow, let's start with this first video of mine. What I'm planning to do is just get a series of videos about different hobbies. I'll be focusing to begin with, just starting slowly on painting. I'm a painter, I paint a lot of things, but lately I've been painting a lot of altars, playing Warhammer and painting the minis, so I want to get into that and make it as easy as possible for everyone, just to democratize painting. I know a lot of people are like, oh, let's get into the details, let's make things complicated and get the best tools. I'm gonna try to avoid that. I know how to use a lot of tools, but this is to see how I started in the hobby and just to talk about it. Just share what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and hope my accent is not much of a bother. As you might have guessed, I'm Latino, so I will have an accent. I will have some words that I don't pronounce, okay, and I'll try to repeat myself, but ignore that. And to begin today, I'll bring you a mystery opening. So I'm gonna be opening a new pack. This is from the latest expansion of Magic cards. If you want to start painting, you can start with a piece of paper, you can start with anything actually, with whatever you have at hand. What I like to do is paint these small guys, just because I get to use them. It's not a painting that just hangs in the wall. It's something that I get to use later on. And what I'm gonna be doing today is I'm gonna be doing it freehand, so no guides, no anything, just as I did when I started. And I'm gonna start using some brushes that I wish I knew before. So one of the things I have is I tend to be a perfectionist. And when trying to be a perfectionist, usually what you end up doing is you end up trying to get into the details and everything, and you get brushes, thin brushes, thick brushes. I do have a couple of thin brushes here. So you can see these are very thin. And also have some specialty brushes for larger round endings. But today I'm gonna be using these guys. So just cheap markers. It's just paint markers. There are brand markers, but these are from Amazon. Just really the cheapest option, just because I didn't have the money to get more expensive ones. And these have been great. I painted a lot of altars with this, and it's good enough. And that's one of the things that I want to remind you people. When you're working on your hobbies, sometimes good enough is just what you need. You don't need perfect. You just need to be good enough so you're comfortable, and you need to learn to be comfortable with any result you get. So I'm gonna make a couple that are really boring. Let's start with this pack. Let's see what we get. I don't know what's gonna pop up in here. Oh, robot villain. There's some interesting things. Frozen in ice. Nice. Raft security officer. Ant-Man's army. Volcanic villain, Hydra infiltration, Panther pounce, take up the shield. With this one I already have something in mind that I would like to paint, so we'll see. Echo, perceptive prodigy, Yellow jacket, heartless marauder, Hulkling, bargaining bruiser? What is this? Huh. Iron Fist, living weapon, and here's the rare, I think. Oh, nice. Wolverine, fierce fighter. Haste, when Wolverine enters, he fights up to one other target creature. If damage would be dealt to Wolverine instead, the damage is dealt, but all other damage is already dealt to him instead. I think this is like regenerate or something. Rewrite history, a swamp. and a hero. Okay, perfect. So let's get started here with this guy, Panther Pounce. So today I'm gonna be doing this one only. It's gonna be a quick alter. Here I always have handy my iPad just to get a reference. You don't need to be the main creator of art to enjoy painting. So if you just like to be creative, in my case I like to use art I like and I have fun with and put it in cards I like, put it in cards I'm gonna use. So today we're gonna try to do the Pink Panther. Let me find one here, something that I like, something simple, not too complicated. I'm gonna freehand it anyway, so it's gonna be something that's gonna be easy enough to replicate. Let me download this image. Save image in Photos. Go to Photos. Open the image. I have a lot of things that I use as a reference. So this is the one I'm gonna be trying to make. What you need to think about when you're making an alter is, first off, you want to block some of the colors. This helps you just to highlight more the colors you're painting. So usually you just start with a base coat. I tend to use gray. I started using gray a while ago, but you can start with any light color really. It's if you use enough acrylics, try to thin it down. It's gonna block the background and it's gonna pop up if you use thin layers on top. So without further ado, let's just start just roughly sketching here where I think things are gonna go. So again, I'm not a professional painter, I'm not a professional artist. I just like to do things for fun, and recording them is something I wanted to do for a while. And we'll see how it goes. It can go horribly, hopefully not, or it can go good enough, which, as I was saying, is one of the goals we have. So we should be more comfortable with trying to just have fun, enjoy the process. And here we have the base shape. So right now, after I have sketched the base shape, what I do is just start all over again. These are very cheap brushes. These are not expensive. I think for a pack of 30, I paid, what, 30 bucks? And some people use them for painting rocks, I have used them to painting canvases as well, just because you don't need to mix the colors, you don't need to think too much about things, and that's good enough. You don't need to be highly technical if you do this thing just to have fun. So first layer is down. I let it dry for a second. Let's dry it over here on the side. I have the fan on just because it's boiling hot. So let's start with a second layer. So one thing that you need to be mindful when doing these things is if you want crisp lines and everything, just try masking it off using masking tape or any kind of thin tape that's not gonna stick to the art, because more often than not, if you use like, I don't know, duct tape, it's gonna stick to the paper, it can peel off the layers, and you don't want that. You don't want that. You just want it to be thin enough so you can start seeing the difference between the background and the foreground. So now you can see I blocked off the image on the background, and I'm gonna, after it dries a bit, I'm gonna add a third layer, because I still can see some places where it's shining through. Again, these markers are cheap, so they're not the option that you're gonna pass it one time and it's gonna be perfect. But for this purpose, it's good enough. You're having fun, you're trying to relax, and trying to do some painting. You don't need to make it perfect, just good enough. Now from the base layer, what I'd like to do is move on to just sketching the outline. Again, these are acrylics. if you make a mistake, it's not terrible. You can clean it up. You have toothpicks that you can use to scrub the borders, and there are many things you can do to clean up the messes, but don't worry about it to begin with. If you're a newbie, if you're starting, just keep your hand moving and don't stop. One thing that has affected me for a long time is being hypercritical of myself. And being hypercritical of yourself is something that prevents you from moving forward. You get stuck with ideas, you think they're not good enough to share, that people are not gonna like them. So you don't want that. Just don't stop. Try to make it happen and have fun with it. Just keep rolling. It's gonna be okay. So here I'm starting with the eyes. Let's see, it's just a border, so it's just a sketch. The eyes are not gonna be this final shape. Just wanna get things in there so I know where things are going, what I will need to ignore or adjust, and then just start moving. So these are acrylics. You can do it with whatever paint or type of medium you want. You can do oils, you can do a lot of things. I'm sticking to acrylics because, well, I started a while ago making altars. I started like this, but with Warhammer paints, just because they fix a lot better to the medium, which is the card. You don't need to have a perfect base. Again, just outlining. This is more rounded. Let's make it more rounded, flat. That's the other thing with painting. You need to be more gentle with yourself, just like Bob Ross said. Mostly because, well, can be forgiving as it can be unforgiving as a medium. And you want to have fun with it no matter what. And sometimes, even though you make a mistake and you try to correct it, if you stick too much to that mistake, you're not gonna have fun. You are gonna go backwards, think about it, and say like, oh, what could I have done just to make it better? And you know, that's not the idea of this. The idea is to have fun, just to enjoy the process. And that's it. So one of the goals I'm having is to just say like, hey, I'm gonna be making pieces of art. Hopefully I'm gonna try to sell them on eBay, really cheap price, because, well, these are not masterpieces. And I'm copying art from other people. It's not my own custom art. Do I like this? I don't know, there are some shapes I would like to change, like here. I would like to make it more elongated. Here, the ear can be smaller. This one can be a bit bigger. And again, just going over the baselines. You're gonna cover it all over again. You're gonna paint everything again. You're gonna make some lines, and you're gonna get a different finish after you're done. But this helps you just to set up where you want things to go so you don't mess it up later. You don't want to start painting the whole thing and then realize like, oh, these are not the proportions I liked. Take it slow. You can make changes, you can arrange it. Like even here, I'm thinking, does this look good? Yeah, this one is too thick, but I'm gonna thin it down later. As I mentioned before, acrylics is really forgiving. As a medium, you just paint over it. Same I did with the background, just now I'll do it in reverse. So now that I'm done with this color, I'm gonna try to stick to a lighter color. Again, using these brushes, it's just to get started and do something fast, funny, something that I like. Is this the color that I'm looking? Let me try this color. That's the other thing, you can stop if you doubt yourself, just don't let it stay for too long. So these two colors, I think this one is the better one, just because it's a bit darker and that's what I wanted. Just a bit more contrast with the background. And see, we already covered the color that we didn't like before. Here again, these lines that were too thick before, now we're thinning them by putting another layer on top. And that's how you move along with this. So this one right here, try this. And same with the base coat. You're gonna try to do a couple of passes before committing. Also because, well, it's still translucent. It's not as good as I wanted it to be by the end of the drawing. I think this color will be great for the light tones, just because it's really light. Yeah, perfect. Well, not perfect, but good enough. It's pre-mixed colors, so that's the other thing. When you're doing this, just to get a quick alter out there, just to get a quick painting, use what you have. Don't worry about like, oh, I need the perfect color, or I need the perfect tools. Just go for it. Have fun with it. Enjoy the process. Try to relax. The other thing I want to share is, well, my wife always tells me that my voice is soothing for some reason, and that me talking makes her sleepy. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but she falls asleep with that. And, well, I hope it helps you too. If you want to put this just to go to sleep, that's good enough. Sometimes we just need to hear something calming, not something nice like, oh, everything needs to happen so fast. Nope. Sometimes just having fun and listening to something calming just to relax. It's what we need sometimes. Everybody's living an awfully complicated life nowadays. For many reasons. Could be health issues, could be stuff at home, could be stuff at work. And I'm going through a lot of those too. I have anxiety, I have a lot of concerns. Oh, this eye I didn't like that much. But it's fine. And then the eyebrows go here. You can do, because this is a black and black background, is you can put on some lighter color in the back, just maybe some white, just to highlight it a bit more. And then when you go over the edge, you know, like, hey, this is the edge of the painting and it's gonna look like a sticker now, because we have this dark background here in the back that it's not letting us see the edges as we want them. So we're gonna make our own edges so that now it looks like a sticker. And they're gonna ask, hey, is that a sticker? No, it's just one of my lousy paintings. So yeah, just keep on moving forward. You can make adjustments when you want to. Just know that it's okay to stop at any point. If you say like, oh, this is how I wanted it, I don't want to do more. Okay, good for you. That's great. That's fantastic. Just have fun with it. I'm gonna move forward and lay down the paint for the eyes. So now we can see that it's taking more the look of a Pink Panther. The mustaches here, could make them thinner, but that is fine. Don't want anything that is like too perfect. Just want something to have fun. A lot of people will call it a day. I want to move forward mostly because, well, I know I can get the background to be a smoother color. I do have the nose to paint. Let me see if I find another color that I can use for this part. I think this one is a bit darker. Yeah, this will work just nice. And then we have a more reddish tone. So what you can do with this, although you cannot truly mix them, because you can still see through them, You can always make a base coat. This is a red one. This is more color theory. When you have more experience, you can mix more colors. It's easier when you're mixing outside the palette. Oh, sorry, outside the canvas you're using. In my case, I'm using this card as a canvas. And you use a wet palette or something to mix the colors outside. But when you can't do that, if the paint is thin enough, you can always just paint over it and it's gonna see through, and it's gonna be sort of a mix of the two colors you're using. So to speed it up, now part of the process is just going over the details all over again. Just covering all those areas, starting with the smaller details here. This allows you to correct the lines that you think are too thick or too thin. Just work through them. Here I'm liking it more and more. At first I judged myself a lot. Then I learned like, hey, you can just make some silly things without worrying too much about the outcome, because you're doing it to have fun, not to be a professional. You're not gonna be a professional artist with this. Hopefully you get to that point, but you start having fun with it. That's the first step. You don't start by being a professional. You start a hobby, you start doing something because you like it, because you enjoy it, you're trying to relax, have a time for yourself where you can do things for yourself, not for others. And that's why I'm not doing lives right now. I think this is all for myself, for my own mental health. I want to enjoy more of the things I'm doing and have fun with it. Just have fun with the process and don't concern myself too much with what others think about me. So yeah, now we're going to the second layer. I'm gonna do only 2 layers today because I think it's good enough. It's fine how it is. We're just starting. Again, this is my first video, so this is gonna be just a quick touch-up, just going through all the details, covering some lines we didn't like. Again, over here. As good as you want it to be. And if you make a mistake and you say like, oops, I didn't want to paint there. It's not like you have Control-C, but pretty similarly, just paint over it. That's basically a Control-C. You'll need to make a couple of layers, a couple of passes, but it's gonna be fine. So don't worry about it. Just trust the process, trust yourselves, and that's the most important part. Trust in yourselves and keep moving forward. Just don't let small mistakes, or not even mistakes, Bob Ross called them happy accidents. So just not let them rule over you. Let them be part of it, and that gives it its own identity. So whatever you're doing it yourself. You're creating art. You're having fun with it, which is one of the most important things we can do nowadays with the world how it is. It keeps improving. A lot of people are fighting to make it happen, to make it a better place, and I hope you are too. Some don't have the tools to make that happen, but trust that it's getting better and we're moving towards a better place for everyone, not for some. And we want to be encouraging of the people that are trying to improve our people's lives. Everyone in this earth is important, and we're all living here together. And if we're not doing something to actively change our surroundings, the best we can do, because not always we can, not always, but what we can do is just try to be nice, have fun, not be mean, control some of our impulses. We want to do a lot of things, and some of those things are not great, so we want to be nice and encouraging of different kinds of people, different backgrounds. Let me close it up here just to make it more of a sticker, popping up a bit through the edge. Again, this is just a quick alter. Then I'm gonna be making some longer videos where I walk through the process I follow when I want to make them more detailed or more accurate. That does require more preparation. Just to be fully transparent, if you're gonna do something quick, you're gonna get something that is not as good as you would imagine unless you're a professional, which I'm not. So you need a lot of planning to get something how you truly want it to be. But if you're fine with the outcome, if you're fine with how it looks, how it feels, that's good enough. That's good enough. So here, final touches. Just thicker white background so I can notice the difference in colors. Mostly because of the eyebrows. If it wasn't for the eyebrows, I would have left it as is. But still, as I mentioned before, will look like a sort of sticker. And see here, I made these outer lines too thick. What I do is I paint over them. That's it. That's how I correct my mistakes. Just going over them, not thinking too much about it. And everything that can be done can be undone. And if you don't like it, paint over it. If you like it, leave it or enhance it. And that's the main part of this. You'll redo some things, you'll go over some things, you'll try to remake others. But keep having fun, don't stop. And enjoy the process, as I said. Just have fun. Now I'm gonna do some touch-ups with this black marker. I do prefer when I have lined artwork, mostly because putting the lines allows you to cover a lot of your mistakes. And black lines are much more appealing than some blurry edges if they're not done correctly. And because I'm not doing it to do it correctly, the black lines make it look better almost instantly, because, well, they are the outlines. They're easy to understand for the eye, lets you guide your vision when you're looking at some things, and allows you to control where the focus on the picture is. So this is it. Just a quick alter, about 30 minutes. Could have taken less with more preparation, but that's the beauty of it. You don't need to be prepared to have fun. You just stick there and do whatever you like, do something silly. Well, that's it. You just start with something and you keep improving, and then you'll move to this, and you'll move to, with practice, you'll get to a better stage. So hopefully you stick around, hopefully you like it. Leave some comments and let me know what you think. Thank you so much.